Hello, friends and adventurers, and welcome back to Sally Cat Plays Exile 3, Ruined World. Let's explore a couple of more towns and try to avoid any more horribly stupid deaths today, shall we? Okay, so Moon to the northwest, Appleton south, and Lorelei farther south. At least Appleton used to be to the south, now it's just a bunch of broken buildings and also giants. I do still have that steel shield that we found. Bremerton appears to be still standing and still populated. Bremerton also looks to be somewhat bigger than some of the other towns along Lake Tomor. No city wall on this one. I'd say that is a foolish thing in the days of monster plagues, but the giants can probably throw boulders over the walls anyway. Bremerton Deluxe Grub. Guaranteed cholera-free. Oh, delightful. And as usual, the sign is much more interesting than the person selling stuff. Craswell's Stables. Another place to find horses? You meet an older woman who looks something like an evil grandmother. Her smile is cold, and her skin seems stretched tight over her face. She is surrounded by bits, bridles, and other horse-riding gear. I am Craswell. She graces you with a pinched smile. I breed horses. With all the monsters about, a way to move quickly is greatly valued. It is futile, of course, but you can still purchase some of my horses for 750 gold. Why even attempt to flee them? After all, they are so clearly a judgment. They are a punishment for our wicked, magic-using ways. The gods have frowned on us, and this is our punishment. Do you think a mere horse will help you escape the wrath of the Almighty? Have you perhaps heard of the Anima? I have, in fact, and they're usually not quite so fire and brimstone as you are. We believe that magic is a demonic art, and its use will lead you into hell. I strongly suggest you repent. Otherwise, no horse or spell in the world will save you from your cruel, eternal judgment. The conversation seems to have taken a dark turn. Okay, well, I do not need another set of horses right now, so good day. Is this a library or is this another Mary? Despite the niceness of his shop and the quality of his clothes, this man's essential scruffiness cannot help but shine through. He is polishing a small blue crystal. I'm Vagro, he says in a raspy voice. Welcome to my shop. I run this fine crystal shop here. Feel free to browse. I have crystals of all sorts, for luck, for decoration, and for spellcasting. Quite a nice selection, in fact. All of it for purchase at reasonable rates. He grins. Great business, eh? Definitely a step up from my sailor days. He scratches himself cheerfully. I was quite the wild one when I was younger. The stories I could tell. He chuckles. Oh, you don't want to hear the stuff I was up to. Though once, I was up to a bit of larceny with an old dog named Abruzzo. We got a big pile of loot, and he took it all and fled west. He grins mischievously. If you ever meet him, mention my name to him. I'm sure it'll give him a start. I think Abruzzo was one of the ones we talked to in... what was it, Wainscoting? Over on the side of the continent? So we can indeed get crystal, piercing crystal, shielding crystal, orb of foul vapors, and ivory bug. I want none of these. And nothing on the shelves, alas. Bremerton Tools. Here's the Mary. And Mary has decent stuff if you really like using poison. Ooh, magic lockpicks even. A nice big inn with a generic boring innkeeper. Okay, the inn's not that big, but it does have nice big rooms. Nothing to see here, Mr. Guard. I can just stroll into the horse pen if I want to. That horse is standing on top of a tree. Yeah. Nope, there's someone in that one. And someone in there too. But nobody in here. Okay, Bremerton has a few extra buildings, but once again, like 2, maybe 3 interesting people to talk to. And also a lizard. Just a regular lizard. I forgot what the hidden word was to get a funny thing out of the lizards. And just to completely explore the square of map. You enter the forest glade. When you do, a vague, insubstantial form begins to coalesce. It says, "Wait, please, I have little time." In a whispery voice you have to struggle to hear. The shade says, "The fight continues. Golems and giants. But the key is in Tinraya. The alien beasts guard the way to the core. Look first to Blackcrag. Hope is not lost, but the worst comes. I must go." It then disappears. Well then. We do need to find Blackcrag Fortress eventually, I suppose. Oh no, I don't want to deal with you right now. You find the site of a small battle between humans and golems. Unusually, the humans seem to have won, and won decisively. You find the broken-down remnants of 30 golems, and no dead humans. Carved on the torsos of one of the destroyed stone creatures is a simple message. Baziron was here. Intriguing. I have yet to trip the message of seeing any actual golems. But for now, let's follow the coastline and also the road. Moon to the west and Bremerton southeast. I thought Moon was farther north. Also, we're about to meet up with some territory we've already been in. Map completion! Okay, Moon a little north of here, then. Malloc, 100 miles south. Watch for beasts. Report even unlikely sightings. Here's the town of Moon. As usual, nothing interesting on the perimeter. Library of Moon, on the other hand, does interest me greatly. Because I do always love a good library. Or even a mediocre library. You meet Moon's librarian. She turns to you and nods in a businesslike way. I am Cerulean. Greetings. She speaks tersely, seemingly nervous and uninterested in talking to you. I run the Library of Moon. I also do item identification, if that is what you need. She quickly looks over your items. Yes, I can identify these. It'll be 25 gold each. Not the best price, but also certainly not the worst I've seen. And my mouse is not cooperating very well today. Ooh, strong invulnerability potion. I think we got that one from the Dryads. Okay, just a steel large shield, not that great. There's a piercing crystal and a weak healing. Basic necklace. I feel like I don't need that very much. She points at the northern doors. Through there is one of the greatest magical libraries in Valorum. Certain authorized persons can enter. Wait, authorized? It's not a free public library? Oh no! People become authorized by paying a fee, which is used to obtain new tomes and maintain the ones we already have. If you wish to obtain access, it is only 4,000 gold. Yikes, that is a pretty steep price for library access. I got plenty, though. No, I want library access, not identification. You pay the considerable sum. Well, it's only half of what we paid to buy our very own mansion. Cerulean mumbles a brief spell. You can now enter the library proper. Please make sure your fingers are clean before handling the tomes. I didn't think there would actually be anything on those shelves. Magical Library. See Cerulean for permission to enter. I'm not sure if the door would have been locked or some other message would have popped up had I not gotten permission. Has someone been snacking in here? You find a small, handwritten spellbook written by someone named Zalafar. You learn how to cast the spell Flight. Woohoo! That is actually slightly less convenient than the Orb of Thralny. But we could have come here way before finding the Orb of Thralny, so. You find a thick prayer book. It is beautifully illuminated on thick vellum pages. From it, you learn how to cast Raise Dead. Nice. I'm still much more likely to reload my game than actually cast that, but it's nice to have. This book is on the analysis and identification of items. There are hundreds of diagrams, tests, and lists of properties. You can now cast the spell Identify. I feel like the Identify spell is much simpler than hundreds of pages of diagrams and tests and stuff would have involved. Also, I already had that one. You find a small prayer book. It is tiny in size, but considerable in power. From it, you learn how to cast Revive All. Ooh, that is a good one. That is some massive group healing. That one alone is worth 4,000 gold. Honestly, I don't even feel like going into these clearly residential buildings anymore. Maybe that one in the corner. Fine rations of moon. And this guy is not interesting. doesn't even sell anything terribly interesting. Roast chicken, hearty meal, iron rations. Sheep. And cows. Genuine surface cow. Wait, no. No, you're supposed to be a surface cow, not a cave cow. Why are you a cave cow? Well, at least the innkeeper is a unique person. The innkeeper is clearly very nervous. She washes the counter quickly, always watching the door. I am Lumok. Welcome to my inn. Her voice is high-pitched and uneven. We have a free room for only 10 gold. We have beer for 5, and our specialty, bourbon, for 15. The beer is bitter and watery. Not good at all. Lumok says, you should try the bourbon. It's much better. Sure, why not? I don't even get drunk off of it. Ha ha ha! The bourbon is strong and excellent. As you sip, Lumok says, would you like some advice, friends? If you're heading north, forget it. People aren't supposed to speak of it, but Valorum has been quarantined. Blackcrag Fortress is closed off. Oh, that's a problem if I'm being encouraged to go there. Our greatest fort is taken from us. Now we cannot go there when the alien beasts come back. She looks visibly upset. The destroyers of the Keep of Tinraya. I will not speak of it. Want to know more? Go to Dorngas. Been there, done that. Southwest. The Empire, scared of the monsters, has left us to our fate. And that is that. Well, that was not entirely useful information at this point. And standard in layout. Now, what is this odd little building in the corner? It's just somebody's house, I'm pretty sure. With a dog! Wait, what? And the dog gets a townsperson doesn't respond tag. Okay then. Okay, it's someone's rather nice house. With a trapped bedroom. And I think no, the dog is still in the main area. Okay. Moon didn't have quite as much as I thought it might. Maybe I'll need to fold this episode into the previous one. Black Crag Fortress, 90 miles north. Watch for beasts. Report even unlikely sightings. Well, I could go beast hunting, but I should probably go take care of those giants that have been wailing on Midori Province for a while now. After all, I've gotten 1 or 2 missions that I've been ignoring for a while. So I may do a bit more exploring of off-recording, and see you elsewhere. You meet a patrol of Empire soldiers. They're clearly on edge, and clearly searching very carefully for something. They ask you if you've seen signs of the beasts nearby. When they hear you haven't, they move on, relieved. There was a massive battle here, you would guess about a year ago. Bits of broken metal and bone are everywhere, and the ground is still lightly stained with blood. The scars of fireballs are everywhere. You find several skeletons. They were large, 6-legged creatures. The number of these you find is very small, compared to the size of the battlefield. It can't have gone very well for the humans. So that particular monster plague has been going on for at least a year. westward, I must cross the bridge. 20 heavily armored guards are watching the bridge. They ask you if you've seen signs of the beasts nearby. When they hear you haven't, they motion for you to move on, relieved. Gate to Footracer Province, 30 miles west. This large bridge is poorly maintained, and is starting to be overgrown with ivy and moss. Although this is clearly a major route, people must be going out of their way to stay away from here. Gate to Footracer Province, unauthorized access prohibited. The enormous wall surrounding the ruins of Footracer Province has a gate here. It's an enormous piece of work. A huge lattice of dark, wrought iron 30 feet tall. The bars are edged with razors and tipped with spikes. The gates are closed, and undoubtedly locked as well. You try to get close to them to see if there might be a way in. When you do, they are suddenly covered in flames. A deep voice booms out, so loud it makes your ribs vibrate. Footracer Province is closed off by orders of the Empress Prezak. Only those with orders from the Empress herself may pass. All others trying to pass will be greeted with the most deadly force. Depart immediately. The flames die down, and the voice falls silent. There is clearly little else you can do here. You turn back. Okay then. And the wall just continues northward for a while. From a hill here, you are able to get a good view of the massive wall surrounding Footracer Province. It glows slightly, a sign of the powerful spells placed on it to keep the alien beasts imprisoned inside. Nearby, you find several human skeletons, and some scraps of the mages' robes they were wearing when they died. The alien beasts caught them and literally ripped them limb from limb. The enchanting of the wall was clearly not done without great cost. Yig. And in addition to a wall, there seems to be a convenient mountain range blocking off Footracer Province. Warning, watch for alien beasts at all times. Report all sightings to Footracer authorities. I wonder how old that sign is, and if there are any Footracer authorities left beyond the Empress. Okay, there's Dorngas. Oh, right. Wainscoting I have to go either around or through the mountains to get to. And by through, I mean over. And I said I would never come back here again. So, hey Abruzzo, do you remember a guy, what's his name? Vagros? You ask him about Vagro. He grins. Ha, those were the days. Looting, a little piracy. We took a bunch of our loot and hid it under a statue in this town called Greendale. Then the word got out on us, and we couldn't get it. He laughs. Sure, it's not there anymore. Someone must have found it by now. I don't think we've seen Greendale yet. When I do get there, remind me to look under all the statues. Alright, that is as long as I feel like stretching this episode out for, so until next time, have a good one, everybody.